Hello, everyone. This is Josh Albayero again with IOOGO, and today we're going to be talking about the lifetime learning credit. So this is episode 8 of our podcast, and we are running this podcast all the way through the end of tax season. So depending on what part of tax season we're in, we're going to be talking about different topics. So right now we're talking about a lot of personal stuff like the education credits, like the family credits, standard deduction and things of that nature, because we want to really get you to understand how simple it is. It's really a yes or no type of situation, whether you qualify for these things or not. And we try to make it as exciting as possible, as exciting as you can make taxes. And we're also showing you how to do the process on IOOGO Tax. Remember, the days of doing your taxes in hours are over. If you follow my steps, you're going to be able to file your taxes in minutes. So unless you are a very rich individual, you have partnerships and you have income that comes from outside the country, or you have multiple companies or things of that nature. If you are a W-2 employee or a 1099 self-employed individual, or maybe you operate your own business as a sole proprietor, then your taxes are simple. So we are going to look. Taxes are simple. So we're going to get through a lot of these situations today, but we're focused on the lifetime learning credit. So I want to put it right there: the lifetime learning credit. Very important that you put a lot of attention to this credit, because the lifetime learning credit is a credit that can help you pay less taxes. So if you are an adult who you're still going to school, maybe you're getting your bachelor's degree, maybe you're getting your PhD or your master's, or maybe you're doing some vocational work, the lifetime learning credit can help you pay less taxes. And who doesn't want to pay less taxes, right? There's a bunch of people out there who believe that taxation is theft. No, it's not. And you know, if you want to prove me wrong, stop paying your taxes and filing and see what happens, right? So I'm not telling you to do it. I'm just saying taxation is not theft. So we need to know about taxes. We need to understand how these things work. And as I said before, if you are a self-employed individual, if you are a W-2 employee, even if you have 5, 6, 7 kids, your taxes are simple. All right, so let's get into the lifetime learning tax credit. If you go to episode 6, I talked about the American Opportunity Tax Credit, which is the biggest education credit. Now I want to talk about the lifetime learning credit, because again, you can lower your tax bill. So let's get right into it. I want to start with how it works, because you want to go through the process of understanding how this credit works. Number one, it reduces your tax liability. So you pay less taxes. If you qualify for the credit, you can pay less taxes. Number two, there's no limit on the numbers of years you can claim the credit, as opposed to the credit where the American Opportunity Tax Credit, where you can only claim it once within the first 4 years of college. The lifetime learning credit, this is why it's called lifetime, right? You know, it has no expiration. As long as you're still in school, as long as you're still paying for your education, and you continue to gain more education, whether it's a college or vocational courses, real estate courses, whatever, right? Then you can claim this credit. So very important to understand how it works. And then number 3 is it can help you pay for, you know, as I said already, your undergraduate, graduate, or professional degree courses. So including courses to acquire or improve job skills. So for those of you who are out there trying to get better education, maybe you are already a bachelor's degree, maybe you're you're going to your master's, your PhD, or you're getting some vocational work. Maybe you're getting into the world of accounting or real estate or any other new activity that you are doing in your, even ESL classes, right? For those who are learning English, or maybe you're learning another language for your job, all of that can come into this credit and help you, right? So let's understand, now that we know how it works, right? Let's understand how you qualify. And very important. Number one, your dependent or your spouse pay expenses for an eligible student enroll at an eligible education institution. So how do we simplify that? It simply means that you or your spouse or your dependent are enrolled in school, and you are paying, and you can prove it, right? Simple as that. So, if you are enrolled in the community college or the vocational school and you have the receipts, you have the statements, that is what this is referring to. Number two, take higher education courses or courses to get a degree or other recognized education credentials, or to improve your job skills, right? So maybe you are not looking to enter, maybe the new job that you're obtaining doesn't require a whole new degree. It just requires for you to improve your skills, and you're going to spend some money on this, then you can claim those expenses here, right? So let's go to the next. You need to be enrolled for at least one academic period beginning in the tax year. So what does that mean, right? What does that tax mumbo jumbo means? It means that during 2019, if you're going to claim the credit during 2020 taxes, during 2019, you were enrolled for at least one semester or an academic period. Academic periods are different, right? Depending on the institution. So it could be a quarter, it could be a semester, it could be a couple months, right? So as long as you are fully enrolled, then you're good to go. And the taxpayer must receive a 1098-T, or you must have the statements from this institution. So this is not one where this credit, unlike the American Opportunity Credit, on this credit, you don't actually need the 1098-T, but you do need statements to support your expenses, right? Because maybe you're going to the vocational school and you're not getting a 1098-T, but they are giving you statements of everything you're paying. So those are things you want to save. So now that we understand how it works, now that we understand how we qualify, let's talk about the credit itself, because it's very important, right? You're probably wondering how much can I obtain with this credit? And as you can see on the screen, you can obtain up to $2,000 with this credit, and all of it is to pay down your taxes, right? So that's why it says here non-refundable. So the credit can go up to $2,000, but you're never going to see cash or much cash from it, because it's non-refundable. If you owe taxes on your 2019 tax return, then whatever portion of this credit that you qualify for will be applied to those taxes. So this is when things can get a little complicated to understand sometimes. So if you, at the end of the year, I'm doing my taxes on IOOGO tax, and IOOGO tax calculates that I underpay taxes by $1,000. So 2019, I did not pay taxes correctly by $1,000. So I'm thinking, hey, I have those educational expenses that I incur throughout the year 2019. So let me claim this, right? So then I go into IOOGO tax and I add the educational expenses, and I qualify for it. So I qualify for $2,000 of lifetime learning credit. So what's going to happen? Since I owe $1,000, the system is going to take $1,000 from the credit and apply it. What happens to the other $2,000? It simply disappears, right? It doesn't get applied, doesn't become cash, because this whole credit, as you can see in the picture here, it's non-refundable. Anytime you hear non-refundable, it means it helps me pay down my taxes. And If I don't owe taxes, then I get no credit. So simple as that. So as always, what are we going to do? We're going to go into IOOGO tax and we're going to understand how this credit works. And I'm going to show you here how you're going to input the information and get the credit apply if you qualify.
Select to add the credit you selected on the last screen. Select who the credit is for. Answer yes or no to some questions for the education credit. Add information for the school that you are claiming the credit for. This should be listed on Form 1098-T. Next, add any amounts and selections from Form 1098-T. That's it. You've added tuition and expenses for a credit.
All right, so as you can see, it's a very simple process, and it takes about 60 seconds to complete. And if you want to learn more about IOOGO tax and how to use IOOGO tax, it's very simple to use, but you can go and follow us on YouTube. We post videos almost every day. So we also have a section for tutorials. Each video is about, I think, 30 to 45 seconds. So we try to make it as short and engaging as possible. Don't forget to follow us on LinkedIn as well. We're always putting good content there for you. And of course, you can follow us on Instagram. So, all right. It's time to say goodbye. If you like this video, share it with your friends. Remember, don't miss any tax dollars. Don't overpay taxes simply because you don't know. We'll see you in the next episode.